Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to Snarky in the Suburbs. This podcast has a lot of great stuff in it. Not that I would ever say this podcast sucks. No, I'm always going to go with great stuff. But I've got a letter that is very interesting, is going to lead me on a rant, per usual. Then I have a pet peeve that I hope a lot of you go, yeah, that is kind of wrong. And my confession. It's a four-parter, people. A four-part confession. But first, let's get to the letter. Because this letter had me going, do better, human beings. Do better. Okay, here we go. Dear Snarky, I've been divorced for barely 6 months. It was an ugly divorce that almost destroyed me mentally, financially, and physically. I'm a mom of 2 young children, and my only priority right now is to make sure my kids are thriving. The last thing I want to do is date. In fact, the hell I've been through has made me have zero interest in men. And yet, everyone, my family, friends, coworkers, seem to be obsessed with me getting out there. Many of these people had front row seats to the hell I went through, which makes their need for me to date even more confusing. It seems the more I push back, the more insistent they are. They act as if dating will be the magic bullet that will make my life wonderful. Trust me. It will not. And as a mom, my first priority is my kids, and I don't want to waste time away from them meeting up with guys from dating sites. Do you have any way for me to shut down all these people so they get over me getting out, shaking off the dust, and never giving up on true love? Signed, what's wrong with being single? Oh my gosh. Honey, there is nothing wrong with being single. In fact, there was just a study that came out, and women that are single are happier, live longer, have less stress, you name it, than women that are in relationships. So embrace being single. I'm not going to say what your friends and family and coworkers are doing with getting out there is mean-spirited. They are projecting their needs on to you. So maybe they think, well, if I had gone through an ugly divorce, I'd want to get out there and start dating. They're not thinking about what you really need. And I'm going to applaud you for saying, I don't want this in my life. I want to focus on my kids. Bravo. Bravo. Good for you, because what I don't understand is women going from one relationship to another and never giving themselves time to breathe. So the fact that you realize that you don't want to be in a relationship, that you don't want to be pressured to be in a relationship, and have prioritized spending time and being with your kids and making sure your kids are thriving, I think it's an excellent idea. Why your parents, your family can't see that, I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? You are not ready to date now. You may not be ready to date in a year. You may not be ready to date in 5 years. And that's okay. Because you don't need a relationship with a man or a woman, a romantic relationship, to be happy. Not at all. And like I say, study after study has proven that. A lot of people are happiest by themselves, not in a romantic relationship. I'm not saying you can't find romance. I'm just saying maybe you don't need it in a relationship. So, you may decide, well, my kids are young. Maybe when they finish high school, maybe I'll get out there. But you should be in absolutely no rush. And you are so smart to know that getting involved in another relationship or going out on dates is not going to be, as you put it, the magic bullet to make your life right. No, you're healing. In fact, people telling you after what you've been through that you need to go out and start dating is like telling someone that had like major heart surgery, like the day after, you need to get up out of that bed and run a triathlon. No, you're healing. People heal at different rates. So you're healing. And then you may find that once you're healed, and not that you'll ever get over probably what you went through, but you're just not into that. You're not there yet. So give yourself time. What I would tell your family, your friends, your coworkers to shut them down is I would be 100% honest. Tell them what you told me. Currently, with what I've been through, I have zero interest in men. I am focusing on my children only. Do not bring up me dating again. I don't appreciate it. And once I've told you that I don't appreciate it, if you bring it up to me again, I'm going to think that you don't respect my wishes and that perhaps you don't like me. Just be firm as firm can be to shut them down. Because it's obvious being polite hasn't worked, or you wouldn't be writing me a Dear Snarky letter. But that's my advice. I hope you take it because I think it's good advice. Just let yourself sit and be with you. There is nothing wrong with that. And mother to mother, there is nothing wrong with prioritizing, making sure your kids are A-okay. That's my advice. Now I'm going off on a little rant. Y'all, you see this time and time again. You know that woman that was on Flip or Flop, and she was married to the guy, and then she got divorced, and she was married to that Tarek for like 7 to 9 years. They had 2 kids. Then she divorces him, immediately gets in a relationship with another guy, marries him, has a kid with him, divorces him, and then immediately gets in a relationship with this other guy, marries him. She's in the process of divorcing him, didn't even make this guy sign a prenup, and she has all the money from being in these HGTV design shows. Now she's in another relationship. I mean, I just, if I saw her, I'd go, honey, you need to take a breath. You need to take a breath and quit going from guy to guy to guy to guy. You know, and she's got 3 kids. One's a teenager, one's in elementary school. I think one is 5. Just be with your kids. But for some reason, she needs a guy. And everybody in the comments when she posts something on Instagram about her new boyfriend and they went to Paris, all the comments are like, girl, take a rest, touch grass a little bit. You don't really probably need to get another relationship. Not that it's any of our business. It is none of our business. But y'all, when I see stuff like that, it's like a red flag, a waving. And I hope she's in therapy because I don't understand, always needing a guy. To me, like, I just wondered what happened in her life that she has to go from man to man to man. See, I don't know what she's seeking. Is she seeking security? I wouldn't think so. She's the one that's got all the money. She's financially secure. I don't know. And this other guy's not really a looker. And, of course, I don't know. Her second husband, I think, is pretty cute. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. It's just that we need to be okay with being alone. What's that song? You're, alone but not lonely. And I think as a society, we have a problem with people being alone. Like, that's bad. Like, that's negative if you're by yourself. If you enjoy your own company. Like, that's a bad thing. I'm going to tell you 100% that is not a bad thing. It is actually a gift. And not to pat myself on the back, but I'm patting myself on the back. I raise my kids to be able to entertain themselves, to be okay with being like alone, requiring your alone time. You don't always need to be going. And they're great. They're great. As a mom, it was survival because I did not want to have to entertain them constantly, nor did I want them to have a friend over constantly. So, I'm like, you need to learn to entertain yourself, whether it be reading or make-believe or whatever. Be happy with your own company. Be happy sitting with yourself. That's a life skill. And I think a lot of us, weren't taught that or aren't teaching our kids that. And it's just go. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good because what being alone gives you, gives you time to sit with your thoughts. It gives you time to think those thoughts because you're not constantly moving. So, I firmly believe that. And I think we can trace a lot of problems, a lot of things we see with people in the fact that they are not comfortable being alone. They are not comfortable being alone with their thoughts. So it's so important. And I urge all of you to just learn, if you're not, to be comfortable being alone because it's a gift. It is a gift. And you know what? You should like yourself a whole lot so that you're okay being alone with yourself. And we need to be okay with people not being in relationships. Not everyone wants to be in a relationship. Not everyone needs to be in a relationship all the time. So we need to be okay with that and just stop thinking that dating someone is the cure-all to all your problems. In most cases, I think you probably just will be introducing more problems into that person's life. So I'm done, but I think I'm on to something. Okay, y'all, now I want to go to my peeves. So There was an article in People magazine. I was not mentioned in it, but there was an article, and it was about a woman who was very upset about the pushback that she had gotten from friends and family about her wedding dress code. And I've done a number of Dear Snarky letters about wedding dress code, and this woman wanted to get a bouncer to enforce her wedding dress code, which I think everyone had to wear pink. So she was upset because she had a wedding dress code. And to be fair, her dress code wasn't that strict. But the magazine did interview guests, or I think maybe she asked guests, why aren't you coming? Because she was getting RSVPs not coming because of the dress code. Or, thank you, I'd have loved to attend your wedding, but I'm not going to buy a brand new outfit to go. And so in her defense, she goes, a lot of it was just khakis and a navy blazer. That was the minimum. But she wanted people, I think, to go all out for, maybe it was a floral theme. I'm not sure. But the kicker was when she did a mood board of how she envisioned her guests would look, and that's what intimidated everyone, or just made everyone say, yeah, I'm tapping out. Absolutely not. I think a lot of brides need to, sit down and maybe have someone holding their hand when I tell them this, but most people don't care about your wedding. Your guests like you, they're invited, but they don't care. They don't care. Let me tell you what they care about. They care about that it's not going to be an all-day affair, because that means they'd have to get a babysitter, or they'd have to do something with their dog. I mean, if I was at an all-day wedding, I would have to arrange dog care. Okay, I couldn't leave my dog, puppy, by herself all day, and I'm certainly not going to crate a dog all day or do anything like that. So they care about the length, like how much time is this going to suck out of my Saturday, and they care that the reception's one place and then they have to drive an hour. No, the wedding's one place and then they have to drive an hour to the reception. They care about that. They care about the wedding is at 1 and then the reception's at 7. That really bugs people because you're sucking up their whole day. These are the things they care about. And most people, I'm going to say, also care if there's a cash bar. Like, you need to tell them up front. I can't believe the number of people that get really upset about a cash bar. I will go on the record as saying you either have a bar or you don't, but you don't have a cash bar. You do not have, you could have beer and wine. Okay, you could do that. There's a lot of ways around that, but no. At a wedding, you don't have a cash bar. I know a lot of you people might have had a cash bar, but that is just me saying this. But have I paid for a wedding yet? No, I haven't. So once I pay for a wedding, circle back and I'll tell you, dear God, we should have had a cash bar. So I might be changing my mind on that one. Anywho, that's what people care about. They care about the time suck. Okay. How long the wedding's going to take. It's not that they don't like you, but they don't want their whole day sucked up. They care about the expense. They care about how much is this going to cost me. Everyone will want to get you a lovely gift. No problem there. But everyone doesn't want to have to go out and buy an outfit specific for your wedding. They're not going to do it. Also, I think people realize they're going to feel uncomfortable in their outfit. They're never going to wear it again. Like the woman that wanted to have an all pink wedding and asked me if she should have bouncers to make sure people, were wearing pink. A lot of the gentlemen would never wear pink again. Although I think guys look good in pink. It flatters a lot of skin tones, people. So that's what they care about. They don't want to go that far out of their way for your wedding. Your mom and dad do, maybe your grandma does, maybe your closest relatives, but most people, this is not their social event of the year. It's a wedding that they will go to cheer you on, to pay their respects to you, to congratulate you upon getting married. But other than that, it does not mean that much to them. So brides, you need to get out of your head. This is the best, most exciting thing in your life. For everyone else, not so much. Not so much. So sure, you throw a good party, but to start telling people there's a mood board and this is what we'd like our guests to look like. Yeah, a lot of people are going to RSVP, no, I can't attend. That is not to say that people should not dress appropriately for a wedding. I mean, no shorts, okay? Yeah, a khakis and a blazer for men. Okay, most definitely. Women should dress appropriately. So I'm not saying just come as you are and wear your feety pajamas, Hawaiian shorts and flip-flops. I'm not saying that. But I am saying by being overly specific, you are narrowing down the number of people that will attend your wedding. Now, if it's your goal to narrow that down because your mom or your mother-in-law gave you a huge guest list and there's no way you want all those people coming, sure. Have a wedding, start at 1, okay, and then come back at 5 for the reception. Have a very specific dress code that you want everybody to meet. Yeah, you do that, and that will clear out that guest list for you. So that's one way to go about that, okay? That is definitely one way to go about that. But the super specific stuff, just take, a breath, people. It's your wedding. It's not a royal wedding. It is your wedding. Oh, God, I got a Dear Snarky letter from a woman that was upset because the bride wanted everyone to wear hats. I'm like, okay, is somebody getting married in the royal family? I mean, hats are expensive. I don't know why I just went, hats. Hats are expensive. And that's something you probably never wear again. It's just like, calm down. And I'm going to tell you something else, and then I'll get off this. Maybe I'll get off of it. Is if you're going to put all these rules and regulations in place for your wedding, you want this and this and that, then you better throw one hell of a party. It should be the best party these people go to all year. If they've had to jump through all these hoops for you, it better be fantastic. So don't have all these things and then, have pigs in a blanket. Not that I myself do not love pigs in a blanket with French's mustard. Delicious. And iced tea. You can't do that. If you're going to say you need to do this and this to attend, you better bring it. Pressure's on. So that's my pet peeve. And a lot of times when someone gets married and I do not get invited to the wedding, maybe a friend does or a family member does, I'm like, oh God, thanks. Sigh of relief. So you need to remember that. It's as a bride, it's super important to you. Okay, and you want to make it perfect, but to everyone else, it's not. It's like, how long is this going to take up my Saturday? Or, oh, I'm so excited I get to go to this wedding. There's that too. But don't take that, oh, I'm so excited I get to go to this wedding, and then pour cold water on it with all you have to this and this and this. Yeah, don't do that. Okay, deep breath. I'm done with that. Now, we're moving on to my confessions. It's a 4-part confession. I'm not going to say this is not exciting, but once again, this is a confession that helps you peer deep into my soul. All right. This is in no particular order. But I'm going to share with you, I'm confessing from the Snarky Confession. 4 friend turnoffs. 4 friend turnoffs. Number 1, and this is probably because I was raised in Texas and I went to Baylor University. Church ladies. If you're a church lady, that is a friend turnoff. In Texas, man, still in 2025, someone will ask you where you go to church. Like if you move in new somewhere, they'll ask you where you moved from and, what church do you go to? What church? And that's how they're slotting you in. And that always made me chuckle. Made my mom roll her eyes, but that always made me laugh. And if you are one of the people whose first question upon meeting me is where I go to church, I do not want to be friends with you. I will not pursue a friendship with you. I will not accept your invitation to go to church. I'm not interested. It tells me everything I need to know about you is that you're going to judge me based on where I worship, based on if I don't worship, if I dare to say, yeah, I haven't been to church in about 20 years. So I want no part of you, church lady. No part at all. Now, some of you may be saying they're just being friendly so they can invite you to church, but they don't want you to be one religion and then invite you to go to their church and have you, feel embarrassed or something. No, there's other ways to find that out. Like maybe getting to know them a little bit first before having the second question upon meeting them. Oh, where'd you move here from? And then coming in 2, where you go to church. Don't like it. Once again, that could just be bias because I grew up in Texas and went to Baylor where it's very churchy. People judge you how you worship and where you worship. Didn't like it back in 1983. Don't like it now. Okay, my second friendship turnoff is oversharing of the money you have and or your sex life. I don't want to know about how much money you make. I don't want to know about your bonus. I don't want to know about your husband's bonus. I don't want to know, like, if your grandpa, like, founded, some huge Fortune 500 company. I want to know none of that. None of it. It's not my business. Do I find it interesting? No, I don't. I don't. Also, if you also, or I don't know, these are two single things, but as I found, two of these, they go great together. Not really, but people put them together. If you talk about your sex life at all, I have absolutely no interest in that. I will be embarrassed and also embarrassed for you. I don't get people oversharing about their love life. Why would anyone think that their neighbor or a friend would be interested in their sex life? No one, no one needs to know that. No one needs the mental image about what you're telling them. Living in their brain, no one needs that. You need to be quiet about that. And then if you are a person that overshares about your sex life, I'm wondering what's really going on. What is really going on? Like, what are you overcompensating for? The same thing if you talk about money. If you talk about money all the time, I'm wondering, why do you feel the need to tell people this? It's a signal. You are signaling. You are telling me by not telling me that something's wrong in the money department. Or maybe everything's great, but there's something with you that you have to fill a bucket, an emotional bucket, by talking about your money. To me, that's not the makings of a very good friend. Number 3 in the friendship turnoff is if the friendship is or becomes transactional. Y'all, this happens a lot. And it's even stupid stuff. Like, I was friends with this woman and then she dumped me or whatever. And if you're thinking, how could anybody dump you as a friend? Well, you're 100% right. How could they? Anyways, when I got built up my TikTok, guess who reaches out to me? And my husband, who is a super nice person, which is great to balance me not really being that super nice person. I go, well, guess who reached out to me? And he's like, oh, that's good. I'm like, well, no, it's not, because I know exactly why she reached out. And he's like, why? I go, because she wants information about TikTok. Like, she either wants me to promote something on TikTok for her, like whatever. She, wants me to tell my followers to go follow her on TikTok. There's something, this is what she wants. Well, lo and behold, we meet for drinks, and that's exactly what it was. I bet my husband $20 that's what it was. He took the bet, and he owed me $20. I'm just sitting there going, yeah, when's it going to come out? And that's what it was. We even split the bill. If I had asked someone to do me not one but 2 favors, I think I would have picked up the tab for the Diet Coke. Just saying. And it also could be transactional in terms of you watching the kids all the time. I had this one woman that made friends with me. I thought she was delightful. Turned out she just wanted me to be a nanny for her child. She wanted me to pick her kid up from school. She wanted me to take her kid to dance. She wanted her kid to come back to my house after dance. Turns out, hand to God, she was having an affair. So on dance days, I'd pick her up, give the kid a snack, and then I'd take both my daughter and her daughter to dance. And then the child would come back to our house, and she'd be very late in picking up this kid. So she had dinner with us. I knew what her favorite foods were because I made sure that I didn't feed her anything she didn't like when she ate dinner with us on Tuesdays. Yeah, mom was having an affair, and I was watching her kid. So that marriage did end in divorce. So transactional can mean a lot of different things. But yeah, once a relationship becomes transactional, I am out of there so fast, just a rocket. I'm out of there. Okay, and the 4th thing that would be a friendship breaker, no sense of humor. I don't mean you have to be laughing all the time. And I don't want a bad sense of humor, but if you just cannot find the humorous in life, if you are a humorless person, then I'm going to have a problem. Because my survival mechanism is just to find the humor in things. Is this really happening? So if someone cannot relate to that, does not understand humor, no, I cannot become friends with you because the friendship would never last. And also, it would take too much effort on my part to explain to you why I think something's funny. So nobody wants to do that. So those are my top 4. Oh, there's so many more friendship breakers. And here's the sad part. When you get older, you have less friends. You're thinking, is it because your friends are dying because you're older? No. A lot of what happens when your kids are little, you've got a lot of friends. Elementary school, you got You got all those mom friends. Middle school, same thing because you're complaining about middle school. High school gets different. You're less involved, or should be. Once the kids go to college, a lot of friendships just woo, woo, woo. They float away into the ether because you realize the bond you had, the thing that was binding this friendship together was your kids were friends, or you had kids of the same age and you were together about that. So yeah, your friendships change as you age. But if you're thinking sad face, let me tell you, it can be very, very liberating because you're only spending time with people you care very dearly about. So, which I find like very important. So it's not all a sad thing that your friendships gets less and less because it's less pull on your time. You could also be thinking, you're an empty nester. You got nothing but time, surprisingly. And this surprises me daily. I am more busy now than when I was raising children. I think it's just because you allow yourself to do the stuff you've been holding back on and you become very busy. So you've got your work, then you got your side hustle, maybe you got another side hustle. When you're raising kids, you don't have time for about 10 or 15 side hustles. You know, you got your work and then you're raising a family. So there's all that. It's not all bad, people. It is not all bad. Okay. I'm trying to keep these to under 30 minutes. We have reached almost 30 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for listening, for watching, for leaving comments. Love the comments because, like, I want to talk about a snarky community. I feel like we're all in this together. I don't care if people disagree with me. I love that. And it's fun. It is a lot of fun, and I think it's very supportive. So, and there's y'all, the world right now, we need as much community as we can get. As long as it's not church ladies, oversharing of sex life and money, transactional, and people without a sense of humor. Most people have a fantastic sense of humor in the snarky community, and I love that. So go out there, make it a great day, and remember, you're fantastic. You're part of the snarky community. Come on. You're great.